Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Amy Carr. I'm the Vice President of Recruiting here at Worldwide Health Staff Solutions, and I am joined today by Amanda Williams, one of our regional account managers, and a special guest, Greg Williams, who's the Division Director of Staffing and Operations for our very first CommonSpirit interviewing event in the Central Region. Worldwide Health Staff is so excited to partner with CommonSpirit so that we can be the exclusive international direct hire partner to help with this amazing organization. To first introduce the organization to you, we are going to start with a short video.
We make the healing presence of God known in our world.
Notre mission est de révéler le pouvoir de guérison de Dieu dans notre monde.
Wir tragen die heilende Präsenz Gottes in unserer Welt.
We make the healing presence of God known in our world.
By improving the health of the people we serve.
改善所服侍人群的健康状况。
Brigom za zdravje ljudi u kojima zbrkimo.
By improving the health of the people we serve.
By improving the health of the people we serve.
Lalo na ang mga mahihina.
Especially those who are vulnerable.
Sobre todo de las más vulnerables.
Principalmente das mais vulneráveis.
Especially those who are vulnerable.
Those who are vulnerable.
모두를 위해 사회 정의에 이바지합니다.
While we advance social justice for all.
Social justice for all.
Habang isinusulong ang panlipunang hustisya para sa lahat.
Y promovemos la justicia social para todos.
While we advance social justice for all.
Before I turn it over to Greg to learn more about CommonSpirit, I wanted to share that we are doing a really large CommonSpirit hiring event that will start on June 24th. So if you are interested, please contact your recruiter and we can make sure that we get your spot saved. Also, at the end of this presentation, we are happy to take all of your questions live. So please put your questions in the comments and this group here will be happy to answer all of your questions. Also, I love it that people are sharing where they're watching from. Please feel free to tell us where you are. We'd also love for you to share this with your friends while we're live on Facebook because we'd love to be able to share this event with people around the world. And hello to Uganda and Dubai. So let me turn this over to Greg to learn more about this amazing organization.
Hey, thanks so much, Ms. Kerr. Good afternoon or good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Greg Williams, and as has been stated, I'm a Division Director for Staffing and Operations with CommonSpirit Health Central Region. So my job, I work in the staffing space. So I help connect our leaders to talent such as yourselves. And so I will kind of be leading the international partnership with Worldwide. And so I'm excited to be here today just to kind of share with you about our wonderful healing ministry. As you guys may not know, but I'm a nurse by background. I'm an ICU nurse for 20-something years. And this CommonSpirit has been amazing to me throughout my career. It's offered that chance to grow from just being, but being a bedside nurse to now being a director. And so there's plenty of chances for advancement. But I want to talk about CommonSpirit, who we are as an organization and why we are. I think anytime you look to for work, you want to make sure that you have a organization that matches up your personal mission and values. And so I want to talk about our mission, vision, and values at CommonSpirit. Our mission as CommonSpirit, we make the healing presence of God known in our world by improving the health of the people we serve, especially those who are vulnerable, while we advance social justice for all. So CommonSpirit's mission, vision, and values inform every aspect of our work each day and remind us that we serve our patients, their families, and our communities, and also each other. Our mission, vision, and values work hand in hand. As the first states our purpose, the next declares our ambition, and our values guide our actions and shape our culture. Together, they help us achieve better healthcare and a future that we want to build. Our core values, simply stated, are compassion, inclusion, integrity, excellence, and collaboration. Compassion means we show empathy and listening, and we comfort those who are in need of healing. That means we listen with empathy and love. Inclusion, we celebrate each person's gifts and voice and respect the dignity of all. We celebrate every person's gift and voice. We respect the dignity of all, and we enjoy having a varied workforce. We want people from all over the world who give us a richness, kind of a human tapestry. Integrity means we inspire trust through honesty and demonstrate courage in the face of inequity. And what that means is that we are going to be champions for what is right. Lastly, next we have excellence, which means just what it states. We are dedicated to excellence, wonderful clinical outcomes, and a great employee experience. Our final value is collaboration, and we commit to the power of working together while building and nurturing meaningful relationships. And that is really, really key as you look to partner with an employer. And our next slide goes to our vision. CommonSpirit's vision statement just conveys what we aspire to do as a healthcare ministry and how we're going to get there. It just states basically a healthier future for all, inspired by faith, driven by innovation, and powered by humanity. A deep reflection to our vision statements reveals the depth of those 16 words. A healthier future for all represents our shared calling. CommonSpirit will continually strive to create conditions and invest resources where all can experience a healthier future. And that just doesn't mean in the affluent areas or places where people have money. Charity care is very important to us as ministry. Inspired by faith, draws on the deep faith of our founding congregations, as well as the faith of thousands of employees and millions of patients and families who entrust their health care to us every day. We are a Catholic organization, but that doesn't mean every employee is Catholic. I'm not Catholic, for example, but the callings of the church and that ministry are key drivers of why we do what we do, Driven by innovation, reflects our quest for better and conveys that we will continuously search for new and innovative ways to heal the body, mind, and spirit. Powered by humanity speaks to our compassion for one another. We believe in human dignity, and that simple acts of kindness, reflecting the grace of God to each person, will make others experience the healing presence of God in all encounters. Okay. I do want to just talk a little bit about our ministry. I'm going to hand over to Amanda just for a second, but I do want to talk a little bit about our ministry, just kind of who we are and just the opportunities that we have available. So CommonSpirit Central Region, which is one of the 5 divisions of CommonSpirit, so there are several. It covers 21 states in the United States. Now we're in about 6 of those states. And so our goal here is to attract talent for all settings, from ambulatory to surgery. We do everything from home health to ECMO. So no matter what your skill set, ambulatory, hospital-based, there's a position for you in CommonSpirit. With that, I'll hand over to Amanda. She's got some more details to share.
And Amy, I
Tracy,
think,
maybe,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can go back. Tracy, can we go back one slide? Awesome. Okay, so I think Greg mentioned so many great reasons to work at CommonSpirit, and really, I think who they are, which I know that nurses, as they look for a great place to start in the U.S., that's really important. One thing I'd like to point out is that this is a really big hospital system. I think Greg mentioned that. Huge hospital system, and there's lots and lots of opportunities for all kinds of different folks. There's a lot of different positions that are open throughout the company. In this particular group, and Tracy, can we go to the map? Is that okay? And this particular hiring session that's going to start June 24th, so very soon, save your spot, is going to focus on these states that are in purple. So the positions that are open in each of these states, maybe Tracy, the next slide, for those people that have questions, the ones that are open right now, in Nebraska, there's a lot of different positions open: medical, surgical, cardiac, oncology, progressive care, ICU, acute rehab, and behavioral health. Arizona is a state that's got medical, surgical, cardiac positions, oncology, progressive care, which I think sometimes is called, can be called intermediate or high intensity, depending on where you are. ICU, acute rehab. And then North Dakota has medical positions, ED positions, acute rehab, dialysis, L&D, and home health positions. And then there are medical positions also available in Iowa. So there's a lot of different positions open in these states. And so maybe let's talk a little bit about, there are a couple of cath lab positions open. That's that question that came in. There are a couple of cath lab positions open. So let's talk a little bit about these states. I think one thing that is important to think about when you move to the U.S. is that sometimes there are states that you see in the movies that are Hollywood states, and they seem really beautiful on TV, and they're in Florida and California and New York City, but almost all of America lives in somewhere else. Most of us live in a state that is not one of those states. And in fact, often the cost of living and raising a family, sometimes it's even better to start somewhere different. So let's talk about Nebraska first. So Nebraska is a place that has really great affordable cost of living. Even compared to other states in the U.S., Nebraska is a place where owning a home is still very affordable. And like within the dream, it's a great place to begin a life in the U.S. Known to be really friendly. There's a lot of great outdoor things to do. It's a place where in almost every single city, crime is low. So very, very safe place to be. And I think there's not a lot of traffic. So for those of you who come from places where the traffic is really bad and your commute is hours and hours from work, that would not be the case in Nebraska. You would need a car to get around. There's not a lot of public transportation, but the commute time would generally be very, very low. So it's a great place to look at. And if you haven't thought about Nebraska, please make sure to take a look and look it up and do some research, because it is a really nice, beautiful place. Greg, do you have anything to add about why people should live in Nebraska?
Wow, yeah, of course, yeah, sure. Thanks. So I actually live in Nebraska. And I moved here from another state, and this has just been a wonderful place to raise a family. You get all 4 seasons. So we get like really hot in the summer. I get to see some snow in the winter. You get all 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. Very family-centric metropolitan party towns, but this is a wonderful place to raise a family. The schools here are absolutely phenomenal for anyone who has kids. One of the reasons I moved here was because of the wonderful public school systems that are available here. It's just a great place to live. Just kind of middle America, very family-centric. Cost of living is affordable. So I'm a nurse. That's what I do. And I have a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and that's affordable for me. And that's a really, really huge sell for me also, just the affordable cost of living. So amazing place to live. I love it here. I probably will die in Nebraska.
Great plug for Nebraska. So if you haven't thought about it, please consider Nebraska or any state that you haven't really thought about before. This is a great time to research some states that you might not have heard a lot about. The U.S. has 50 states, and there are people that are happily living in all of them. And there's really great reasons to live in every single one of them. So the next state I want to talk about is Arizona. I think sometimes people are familiar with Arizona. One thing that's interesting is that Arizona has some different climates. Most of the positions that we are hiring for are near Phoenix. So Phoenix is a place that gets really, really warm in the summer. It's dry. It's on the desert. It's sunny. It's a place where sometimes people retire because they like to live there. And there's a lot of people who have moved from more expensive places to Arizona because the climate is still really nice. The Phoenix area has a lot of companies that have moved into it. It would be a great place if you have a spouse that's looking for a job. There's lots of different industries and other places to look at. It is still affordable. It is probably more expensive than Nebraska, but it is still a state that is affordable. There's a lot of diversity. There are a lot of outdoor activities, probably not in the summer. Probably in the summer you would sit by the pool, but in the rest of the year, it still has really mild weather. So another great place to consider living. And again, most of the areas that we're hiring for in Arizona are around the Phoenix area. Okay, let's talk a little bit about sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add just for Arizona, but one thing I would like to mention, we do have some of those really hot and humid areas, but Yavapai is one of our locations that's there, and it's about a mile above sea level. And so actually, when it's 100 in Phoenix, it can be in the 70s there. Wonderful, wonderful place. If you're going to research Nevada, also look up, Arizona, look up Sedona. There's wonderful, wonderful things to do there, just right, not too far from the Grand Canyon, which is another big tourist pool for that area. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's talk about North Dakota. So North Dakota is at the very tippy top of the central part of the U.S. This is a place where we actually have placed several international nurses across our time here at Worldwide. I also recently discussed with a nurse that's actually in Dickinson, North Dakota, why she loves living in Dickinson. And she said that it's small enough that she can get around, and she learned where everything was very quickly. It's also a very, very friendly state. The crime rate is very low, and it's another place where buying a home, it's still pretty inexpensive to buy a home. They do also get all 4 seasons, and there is snow. So it is, it can be cold, very, very cold in North Dakota. But it's a lovely place, and there's a lot of outdoor activities to do, and a very, very friendly place to be. There's lots of different areas that are rural. And I think if you're looking for a place where you can have like maybe a slower pace, and you can also know all of your neighbors and everybody in town, this would be a really good place to check out. Greg, anything that you would add about North Dakota?
Yeah, I would add. So lots of the hospitals we're hiring for in North Dakota is what we in the United States call a critical access hospital. And so there's some rules around a critical access hospital. It can't be bigger than like 30 beds. There can't be another hospital within 30 miles of it. So all of these hospitals would be like the hometown feel of a hospital. The wonderful things about these places is there's a great sense of community. It's somewhere where everybody knows your name. And it's just really, really an inclusive family type environment in these hospitals. So if you like the small town life, this would be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. There's no traffic jams. There's, farming. There's lots of outside nature type activities to do. So North Dakota is a wonderful spot.
Awesome. And then last but not least, let's talk about Iowa. So at Worldwide, we actually have hired hundreds of nurses to the state of Iowa. And I think that we have found that there is really an amazing community for international nurses in the state. It's another place where the cost of living is very affordable. It also has 4 very distinct seasons. Iowa is a state that is that has a strong economy that is growing, and they also have a really great education system. And this is also a really friendly place and an amazing place to start in the U.S. I think if you haven't thought about Iowa, I think Iowa is a place where I think you heard Greg mention about Nebraska. He's going to live there forever. I think people feel very much that way about Iowa. It is a place that people love very much, and there's a lot of outdoor people that are going to be in Iowa forever and ever and ever. Greg, anything that you would add about Iowa?
No, I would just I would comment that Iowa and Nebraska are their border states. They're right next to each other, and so those they have lots of shared characteristics. And specifically, one of the hospitals we're hiring for is in the Council Bluffs area. And so if you see Council Bluffs, it's connected to Omaha, so it's just right across the river. Those two cities touch each other. In Omaha, there's 1 million people. Omaha Metro. So lots of opportunities for outdoor activities. The CHI Health Center is right there near Iowa. There's tons and tons of things to do there. Iowa is a wonderful place to live. Cost of living, as we say, is really super affordable. And we do have a couple of critical access hospitals, those small town hospitals that are in Iowa. But then we also have Mercy Council Bluffs, which borders Omaha. So that's a little bit of a, not a huge city, but a bigger city feel. One thing I will comment, though, with the Iowa and Nebraska, if you have spouses or folks that are coming with you, both have very healthy job markets. My CFO did some research a little while ago, and she found that if everybody in the state of Iowa and Nebraska, if every eligible working person had a job, there'd still be about 10,000 open jobs. So it's a very healthy job market if you are bringing someone with you, but it's also a place where the nursing salaries relative to the cost of living is pretty good. Nurses have a good living experience here just relative to their wages.
Yeah, awesome. And then I think on the next slide, we've got a cost of living comparison. And I think, when you think about coming to the US, I think we talked a lot about cost of living because there's a lot of places on this list that the cost of living is really good. And so when you think about coming to the US, it is not always about the amount of money that you will make an hour. It is about the amount of money that you will have in your pocket at the end of the day. And so if you look at, for instance, on this chart, the cost of rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in Omaha, Fargo, North Dakota, or Phoenix, Arizona, you can see that it is significantly less than the cost in San Francisco. And so I think that is something that it is probably one of the most important things to consider when you are looking at a job offer. And I think here at Worldwide, our job is to help you find the right fit for you, whatever that may be, and to help you on your journey to the US. But I think looking at the cost of living and what a nurse can make and what a nurse can bring home, I think that it's super important to consider that. And you can see here, North Dakota has, Fargo has the lowest cost of living, and then Omaha, and then Phoenix. But they're all very, very similar. Some of the really big cities, the cost of living is, especially housing, is significantly more expensive. So I think something that's just really important to consider. All right. Next slide, Tracy. Okay, so I saw a question about how do you apply? So if you already have a recruiter, please reach out to your recruiter and let them know that you are on this webinar today and that you are interested in getting on the list for the June 24th interviews. We don't want you to miss out. There are also, a lot of spots open. So if you are coming with a friend, this is a really good opportunity to try to get in the very same place. If you have not yet applied to Worldwide, please go to our website and apply. You can see that it's healthstaff.org/apply, and please apply now, and we'll get you connected to a recruiter. There's a couple of questions that have come in through the comments, so please make sure to keep putting your questions in the comments, and we will go through and answer them. I think one of the things, what I've seen a couple of questions about, specifically, are you hiring for this and this place? And I think the very best way to find out the best fit for you is to connect with your recruiter, and they are happy to look at your resume and let you know which cities are hiring for positions that best match your experience. So I think please make sure to connect directly with your recruiter, and they're going to be able to help you best with that. All of these positions, however, do require the NCLEX exam. So you do have to have already taken and passed the NCLEX exam, and you do have to be working currently in a bedside position. Those two things are requirements, so they're super important. Somebody asked about, do we have NCLEX scholarships? And we do not at this time. This is for nurses that have already passed NCLEX. Okay, so here's a question about retrogression. Excuse me, two things. One, we have some really great webinars that are on our YouTube page that Ron Hoppy has done with some immigration attorneys that have been in the business for 25 plus years. And so I would encourage you to go and watch those webinars. I know the most recent visa bulletin came out, and we moved back to December 21. I think that the most important thing in any immigration journey is knowing that patience is the hardest thing. And I would encourage everyone who has a dream to come to the U.S. to continue and pursue your dream. Retrogression, we're going to see a visa bulletin come out every month, and then the new visas will be released in October. So, that will continue to move, and we'll see what happens next. But the thing that is important is that once your petition gets approved, that's when you get in line. And the best way to get a petition filed is to make sure that you find the right and best employer for you. And we have an amazing partner with CommonSpirit here, and an amazing opportunity to join an organization that's got, opportunities for you to be a nurse and then to have a great long career afterwards. So just know that don't let retrogression discourage you. Retrogression is, we're still in a couple of years out for an immigration journey, but there are people who have waited much, much longer, and that's not where we are. So I think be encouraged and continue to pursue your dream. Continue to watch the visa bulletin every month. Do that too. Be really well informed, but be encouraged and know that the way to continue on your dream to the U.S. is to find the right employer for you and to do all of the right things to get in line to come to the U.S. Amanda, would you add anything about retrogression?
No, yeah, I think it's such a great point. Like, just the sooner you get in the process, the quicker you're moving along and the earlier you are in the queue. And we have such a wonderful case management team and legal department here is going to help support you and getting things moving as quickly as we're capable of doing. And we're always here to support you and any questions you have and keep you informed as well.
Awesome. There is a question about a previous priority date, and are you hiring from India? I think if you have a current priority date from India and you have an approval notice, we'd be happy to help you. I think for the specifics, I think the best thing to do would be to connect with your recruiter, and then they can help you with the specific parts of your journey and does it match this opportunity. And then I don't see any questions specifically about CommonSpirit. So if you have questions about working at CommonSpirit or what it's like, or any of those things, please make sure to put your questions in the comments. Someone has mentioned about working as a CNA, and I'll just say right now we don't have any CNA openings, so we're not currently hiring for CNAs, but we are hiring for lots of positions in with NCLEX passing RN. So my encouragement to you would be to look into taking and passing the NCLEX. That does take lots of work and lots of studying, but that's the best and fastest way to come to the U.S. And there's never been a time where there were more U.S. employers looking for international RNs for direct hire. This, even for worldwide, I think this is going to be a record year for the positions that are open and are hired. So I think just continue to work on that NCLEX. And then maybe, Greg, I think lots of people often want to know about the different benefits. I think specifically international nurses that work this hard to come to the US are always interested in what are future growth opportunities and what kind of professional development opportunities can you see at CommonSpirit?
Oh, great questions, Amy. So CommonSpirit is really a firm supporter of investing in their coworkers and helping them to grow professionally and personally. So some of the benefits that our nurses really enjoy, tuition reimbursement. So once you get to the U.S. and you're working for CommonSpirit, we will then give you several $1,000s a year just to continue your education. So if you want to get a master's degree, there are scholarship opportunities also. We have the usual, 401k with money matching. There's paid time off. We offer personal days. So the benefits package is a very good benefits package. I have a couple of kiddos who frequently use healthcare, and the insurance has been absolutely phenomenal for me. I think another thing that sets CommonSpirit apart is just as a bigger organization, we have some of the infrastructure in place that can accommodate our international nurses. So because we're one of the biggest not-for-profit in the United States, we have a complete curriculum that is built that helps our international nurses transition to practice. And that's a huge win for us. So we call it a fellowship, but basically it does not assume you to be just like a U.S. nurse who's changing hospitals. We take you through the transition to practice model with professional educators. Uh, yeah, other than that, there's always the proctor, the multi-week orientation that we do for our employees. You'll be assigned a primary preceptor, so there'll be one nurse that will be assigned each person to go along that journey to competence in bedside practice. But the biggest thing is probably just the career progression. So we do have a career ladder. We call it PNAP. It's a professional nursing advancement, and that allows you to do certain activities, and you're given a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are paid a dollar amount for that. The other piece is the ability to grow professionally. So currently, I'm a director now. I started as a charge nurse, I started as a staff nurse in CCU, I don't know, 20 years ago. And currently, one of my managers who works for me, Bo, wonderful guy, but he's someone who started as a staff nurse. And so he started as a staff nurse. He's now a manager. He's working on his master's degree, and soon he'll be a director. So the career progression definitely exists within an organization this size. Because we have these, 120,000 employees, there's always a management position coming open or that next level up for you. So tremendous personal growth opportunities within CommonSpirit.
And then, Greg, CommonSpirit also offers like all the other normal benefits, right? Paid time off, insurance, medical insurance. So there are probably a litany of other benefits. Is that right?
That's correct. So there is paid time off. So in the Nebraska market, for example, you get paid time off. You'll get about, I don't know, a little bit less than a day's paid time off each pay period. So about a day and a half a month. We also give personal days because we know that life happens. We have short-term disability. So in case, you have a baby, break a leg. There's also long-term disability. There is a complimentary. So the employer automatically gives you a life insurance policy that is 1 times your salary. If you want to purchase additional, they can be bought at very reasonable rates. We offer insurance for your dependents also. We offer full dependent health care coverage. So that'll be for a spouse, dependent children up to the age 26. We do have the 401k, and so that will be money you contribute into a retirement account, and we will match that up to 3% of what you contribute. There's also, the vision is available. We have, IT protection for like LifeLock. There's legal services protection for family law as you get ready to do your journey to getting a visa. Wow, I can't name all the things. There's so many, but it's a handsome comp package with all the benefits. But the biggest
Yeah,
being, the PTO is great, and the really affordable healthcare insurance are two huge wins for our nurses.
so it sounds to me like this is an opportunity for international nurses to be a part of an organization that really, I think you said it earlier, really believes in investing in their team members. So an amazing opportunity. One question that just came in is, is it guaranteed that the applicant will get deployed to a hospital and not into a different setting? I think one thing that's really important and about all worldwide opportunities, but especially this one, is that it is a direct hire opportunity. So you will be a direct employee of CommonSpirit, and in these offer letters that you will receive a specific offer for a location and a department. Oftentimes, a shift is assigned much closer to arrival based on hospital need, but you will be assigned and you will be accepting an offer that has a location and a department and a wage to be an employee of CommonSpirit directly. I think that's really important. So the answer is no. You will be an employee of this hospital and of the hospital that makes the offer to you. And then sorry, go ahead.
And if I could speak detail on that. So yeah, so you would be directly hired to a department, and in that moment, you would be like any other employee of our company. So if you wanted to transfer somewhere else, do something different, that would be open to you after 6 months of employment. That's our policy, that after 6 months you could transfer or do something different. Now we do hold the caveat. We always know that when we get international nurses in, sometimes what they expect in practice is not what they get. And so in those cases, we do have, because we are a larger organization and we have varied needs, we do work with folks. If, I got to med surge and it's lower acuity, I want to go to ICU, we can definitely work with that. So, but yeah, we would definitely hire you to a position and you would be like any other employee of our hospital system from day one.
Yeah, very different than a staffing model. It's very different. Does Nebraska accept the PTE or IELTS? It accepts both of them. Nebraska takes the IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, MET, although that's not very common. But so yes, the answer is yes. And then I think, will CommonSpirit sponsor visa processing, airplane ticket, relocation? Yes, they will. So CommonSpirit is going to be the sponsor for all of these candidates. What is included in this that Worldwide will help with is your medical exam and your visa screen will be reimbursed once you arrive in the U.S. There's also $1,000 sign-on bonus that is included. And then at least a $2,500 housing stipend to help with the first 30 days of temporary housing when you arrive. All of that is included. And then if you pass the NCLEX, is it possible to apply as a CNA? I think I mentioned before, we don't have any CNA positions open, but if you have passed the NCLEX and you're currently working as a nurse, we'd be happy to help you find a nursing position. Okay, I think that's all of the questions. I think that maybe the last thing is, I think, final words maybe from Greg and then Amanda about this opportunity. Thanks to everybody who's joined us today. We've had lots of great questions and discussion. So Greg, maybe final thoughts from you about CommonSpirit and why it's an amazing opportunity for international nurses.
Yeah, again, thanks, Amy. And so one of our taglines, CommonSpirit, is hello, human kindness. And I think that kind of really sums up what our corporate culture is about. If you go to a hospital, any hospital in the world, you'll find sick people and you will find other people giving those folks medicines. We all do that part primarily the same. What sets CommonSpirit apart as an employer is the why of the things we do. This is definitely, we refer to it as a healing ministry. It is a faith-based organization, and that is extended to the way we treat our patients, but also the way we treat our staff. Things like integrity and excellence, they go a long way in employers, and that's one of the reasons I've stayed. I don't look like most people who work in the United States, obviously, but that diversity piece has been huge for us, just to be accepted and welcomed. And so this is a special place for international nurses to join, just because of that inclusion and that diversity and that belonging that I feel in this organization. Wonderful opportunity. We look forward to having you join us. Uh, Another thing is, we are in anticipation of our graduate, or excuse me, our international nurses joining our teams. We are already developing curriculums that will be specially built to help folks transition to practice. So we hope you decide to join us. God bless you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. Amanda, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, so we thank everybody from joining today. We at Worldwide are so excited about this opportunity with CommonSpirit. I think today we've heard a lot of wonderful things about this organization, and we are very excited for you to join in our event at the end of the month. So please reach out to your recruiter and they'll help you find the best position. At this event at the end of the month, we're looking to do almost 1,000 interviews. So there are plenty of spots open, and we are looking forward to finding the right spot for everyone here.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Amanda. And then if you have a friend that you'd like to bring along with you, please feel free to go to our website and refer your friends through our program, and you can earn $250 per person who gets hired and has a petition that is filed on their behalf. And a great opportunity to come along with your friends and build a whole new community in the U.S. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Greg, for your time today. We appreciate it so much. And Amanda, and we wish everybody a good evening or afternoon or morning.